New York Jets, baby. Empathy. Have more empathy. TikTok. If you don't know Gary Vee, he's like the Steve Jobs of marketing. He's a true genius in that realm. And while he normally talks about business and happiness, he's built his $150 million empire and growing off of a few powerful money principles. And that's what I'm here to share with you today so you can dominate your own finances and own your life. Let's go. Number one is Gary always preaches about his gratitude for being an immigrant and for being in America. And as an immigrant myself, I came to the US from South Africa when I was 4 years old. Now I'm pretty much all American. However, my parents are immigrants. They're straight up immigrants. My dad's first language is French, second language is English. My mom, Afrikaans, which is like a horrible language for South Africans, but they have that immigrant mentality. And when you're an immigrant in the US, a lot of times that means you're used to living more humbly. You're used to not having the resources. You're used to not using credit cards and debt, because in most countries, debt is frowned upon. So you just live humbly, live within your means. You don't have too many connections or friends or all these things. You just have a very simple way of life and you're always working hard. That's one of the best things about being an immigrant. Number two was to live within your means and reinvest in your business. Now, when Gary Vee was talking about how his 20s and 30s, he's always just working, using that money to reinvest, always building his dad's business without ever going out with friends or going on vacations or doing anything cool. I'm not saying that because I feel like we need to enjoy life, but I love the idea, and you need to as well, of reinvesting in yourself, reinvesting in your own business. If you are a coach or a freelancer, that's easy, but even if you're not, invest in your skill set. That could be public speaking, that could be web design, that could be soft skills, leadership skills, whatever it is, reinvest, because that's what truly brings the money down the road, because now you've developed things you could take with you wherever it is you go in life. Number three is one of my favorites. Don't buy stupid shit to impress people out of insecurity. It's called keeping up with the Joneses, and it's what Americans do best. Unfortunately, it's a horrible thing to do. That's how we rack up debts, and with that comes stress, and with that comes pursuing a job and staying at a job we hate. That is not the way to go about things. There's a point where you have to be like, this is just stupid. I like this, I'll buy it. I don't like this, I don't buy it. Or I have money in my account and I like it, I'll buy it. That's more accurate. And I like this, but I don't have money. I'm gonna save up, not use my credit card, and I'll do it that way. Again, that goes along with being an immigrant where we don't really deal with debt the same way that Americans do. But there's a point where we can't keep up with the Joneses because we can't keep going down that path where they'll always have newer and better, and we just keep digging ourselves a deeper and deeper hole. Number four, the economy will crash again. And look, I listen to a lot of business and entrepreneurial podcasts and no one talks about it. 2008 was not an anomaly. 2000, the dot-com bubble was not an anomaly. Going back all 8 to 10 years, there's been a recession, there's been a crash, and he preaches it because he's all about, this is a cycle. You ask Ray Dalio, the world's best or biggest hedge fund manager, he puts out videos, he puts out content. All these guys, Warren Buffett, they know that the economy is cyclical. However, you don't know that because when you see commercials, when you see messages from companies, they do not want you to know that there's going to be a recession. They want you to keep spending. If they tell you, hey, by the way, there's going to be a market crash coming up, what are you going to do? You're not going to spend. You're going to save. You're going to put it aside. They don't want you to do that. You've got to be smarter. And I love the fact that Gary Vee is one of the only people in that field to talk about an economic crash, while all the others are looking for you to buy their stuff and to ignore the fact that, you might be out of a job in 6 months or in a year, or you may have half the clients, or blah, 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 blah. Bottom line is it's happening, and do your own research. There'll be links below that you could check out, but seriously, you gotta see that the economy's gonna crash. Number five, let happiness be the new success. And this goes hand in hand with everything else. Why do we want to make more money? Why do we want to buy certain things? It's because we want to be happier. But when we chase other people's definition of success, then we're not happy. We have to define it for ourselves. Is success working 40 hours a week and not a minute longer? Is it working 10 hours a week and having all the time in the world just to walk around and meander and mill and whatever, solicit, all those other words meaning we're not doing much? You want to be a beach bum but be happy? Cool, be a beach bum. If you want to grind 60 hours a week and build an empire, do that. But the whole point is that success should not be based on your spouse, on your parents, on society, on culture. I'm a model, a part-time model. I travel around for spokesperson work. I am a financial coach where I help people with their finances. I'm not exactly where I want to be in life, but I love it. I love the fact that next week I'm flying to Seattle for a 5-day spokesman job. Right after that, I'm going to Tampa for a casino modeling job. Then I'm coming back to LA. I have a couple clients here, a speaking opportunity. I go to San Francisco. That's what I find to be successful. And it's not exactly where I want to be, but I'm happy on this trajectory. Are you happy, or are you pursuing someone else's definition of success? Number 6, we all have 24 hours in a day. That means stop saying you work too much when you have 14 hours of the day in which you don't work. Oh, I'm broke. I don't have time to start a business. I don't have time. Bottom line is there's 24 hours in a day. I love my sleep. I love 8 hours straight. But the bottom line is, if I needed to make more money, if I had to provide for other people, I'd have to cut down somewhere. I'd have to either commute less, I'd have to take work that's at home, I would have to do certain things. Right now, I'm creating content in the hopes that it brings me more work by providing you more value. So either I'm building my brand, or I'm getting clients, or I'm just getting ad revenue from YouTube. Please watch the ads. But bottom line is, we all have 24 hours. It doesn't matter if you're Steve Jobs, he's dead, sorry. If you're Jeff Bezos, if you're Gary Vee, if you're LeBron James, if you're Donald Trump, or if you're a homeless person. The clock does not change for anyone. And last but not least, number 7, self-awareness is everything. Seriously. It's knowing you, it's knowing what success is, but it's also knowing your strengths, your weaknesses, your passions. What do you want out of life? All of that stuff. We've got to be more self-aware so we stop going, man, I was pursuing this career that I don't like because I always wanted approval from my dad, who I never got. We got to have that like self-therapy. And you could take therapy elsewhere, and I highly recommend therapy because we're all effed up in our own ways. But the bottom line is, we need to know us. We need to know what makes us tick, what makes us happy, what makes us sad, where we want to live, why we want to live there, who we want to live with, what our partner is like and why, what's our personality, all these things. I mean, when I found out I was a Virgo, and if you know Zodiac, you're like, oh my God, he's so effing Virgo. When I found out I was a Virgo, that was like mind-blowing to me, because I read it through and I compared it and I was like, holy crap, I'm so Virgo, it's ridiculous. But that self-awareness made me realize, hey, it's okay for being super left brain. It's okay for thinking the way I do and not feeling very emotional and being annoyed at loud people and wanting to always find peace and quiet and serenity. Hey, that's okay. That's who I am, and that's part of my strengths, part of my weaknesses, part of my struggles, but it'll be part of my triumphs as well. These were the 7 lessons from Gary Vee. Stay tuned for the next video and see you next time.